I'm live, so you just act.
Okay.
Hi everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the second class. Thank you guys a lot for your patience. Just like we all know, the last class was, rescheduled, to today because your facilitator was not available. I'm sure you guys are excited. I don't even need to ask that question again because I know everyone. I see everyone of you. I'm really excited, to be a part of the program and all. Yeah, so I'll just give you a quick update before your speaker will start, your facilitator will start. So one, we've already shared keywords with everybody, and a couple of you guys said you've not gotten your keywords. So I just want to categorically state it here that if you do not get keywords, you actually missed a step. So there was a time we shared an email, we sent an email asking you guys to fill a form. It means you didn't fill that form because people who fill the form are the people who lifted their names to say, okay, these are the actual people that are a part of this program. But it's fine. We are trying our best to integrate everyone into the program. So you actually have to be patient. By tomorrow, you're going to be getting your keyword. We're compiling the list. There are quite a lot, much more than we expected. Yeah, but you'll be getting your keyword manually, but just be certain that your name has been imputed into the system manually too. All right, so here's your facilitator. His name is Joseph. Joseph, your guys are here.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, David. I appreciate it. So I would like to begin immediately. And I want to welcome each and every one of us to this program organized by Social and Agency. So I want to, tonight I'll be speaking briefly on 4 topics. It is broken to know, and I believe that it is going to help to it's going to help to make us understand what this whole thing has been about, the content, and a whole lot of stuff that's going to learn in this internship program. So I would like to start by introducing myself. My name is Joseph Iketuzo, and then I'm a copywriter and a content writer. So my experience is that I'm a freelance copywriter in Upwork. Please give me like a minute, please. Okay, so I would like to begin by introducing myself. So my name is Joseph Iketuzo, and I'm a freelance copywriter and as a copywriter. I write those copies, I write email copies and all of that for clients. And also I write on Quora, although not very active now. And I have one of my content on Quora that was able to generate over 429,000 views with massive engagement. And I've trained over 100 people in copywriting and also how to land jobs in Upwork. So, and also I'm also an author. I've written a book called Content Creation on Social Media Made Easy, which was distributed to over 100 persons within the first 24 hours of its release. And also, I'm an author of Why You're Struggling to Sell. It's a book for online vendors, for course creators, and for affiliate marketers. So it's a book that has to do with if you have an issue selling online, maybe on social media, that book can help you to guide you, to show you reasons why you're struggling to sell. So that is a brief intro about me, at least to qualify why I'm qualified to speak on the topic that I'm about to start now. I hope you're set to go. So tonight, for about 1 hour plus, we'll be looking closely into what content. This is a step after content. Like I believe the class before now must have shown us what content is about and all of that. So tonight, what I'll be looking into is how to generate content ideas, the types of content that you have, then the content formats that you have, then how to repurpose your content. Like if you have a content that you want to repurpose it. So I'll be showing you that within the next 1 hour plus. So I believe that we are ready. I believe that we are ready to scale, we are ready to ride.
Hi, Joe. So, sincere apologies for cutting you short. Let me just briefly say something. So, I noticed a lot of people are saying on the YouTube channel they can't hear you very well. So, maybe you try speaking up, like speak up, yeah, so that they can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, I thought they would join this Zoom meeting now.
No. They're streaming via the YouTube live.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me now clearly because I'm trying to even shout.
So you can just go ahead. I'll get feedback from there.
Okay. So the first thing we'll be looking into is how to generate content. And let me just do a kind of brief intro. Content there's no big deal or there's no big thing about content. Content is just anything that helps to educate or to maybe entertain an audience. So and there's a huge difference between content and a copy. Like a whole lot of people they misplace the two of them or they misinterpret the two of them. So if there's a difference between content writing and copywriting, there's a huge difference. There's a huge Please, is this okay? I don't know. Hello, Dave. Okay. Let me proceed. So a whole lot of persons misinterpret the two of them. There's a huge difference between content writing and copywriting. So content helps to a content writer writes to the truth or to entertain an audience, whereas a copywriter writes to persuade someone to take an action on something. Maybe you're selling something, or maybe you want people to subscribe to your YouTube channel, you want people to subscribe to your email list. So a copywriter helps to make that decision process or that action taking process to be possible, to be easier. So whereas a content writer writes basically to educate, to inspire, maybe to entertain an audience. So content basically has to do with anything that you see on social media, TikTok, or anything that is basically aimed at educating, entertaining an audience. So before you start writing a content, there are several checks you have to do because writing basically it's basically 80% research and 20% writing. You want to write about a particular topic or you want to write about a particular subject. You don't just pick up your pen and start writing, except it's an experience you want to share? Maybe you have an experience you want to share.
Sorry for interrupting you once again, Joe. So sincere apologies for interrupting you every time. So a lot of people are still saying they can't hear you clearly. So I think you should get close to your.
I'm using my earpiece. This thing I'm using now.
Okay, maybe not so clear. We can't hear you very well because of that.
Let's have to switch to my AirPods.
Your earbuds, can't you use your natural camera? I think the natural camera is loud. The natural audio is louder. Nobody is speaking. It's only you that's going to be speaking. So use your natural.
I'll just disconnect.
Disconnect. Yeah, use your natural audio. Mic.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, very clear.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said that before you start writing a content, either to educate or to entertain an audience, you have to do research. You have to make some findings. Especially, except it's a content that is aimed at maybe inspiring someone, maybe you have a story or an experience you want to share, then there may not be need for research, but at least there's still need for you to sit down and pen down some things before you start writing. Or before you start, if it's a video content or an audio content, there's need for you to actually sit down and pen down some things to have a flow of how the whole thing is going to go, so that when you are in the process of creating the content for consumption, it will be a bit seamless. So I'll be showing us how to generate content ideas, and I'll be giving us reasons why there is need for you to generate content ideas before you actually start writing, or before you actually start creating maybe a video or a podcast or anything. So I'll show us that process and where we can actually generate content ideas. So why should you generate content ideas, especially before you start writing or before you start creating a content? First is that so you don't run out of relevant content to create, because there is something they call when you're writing writer's block, that is BLOCK. It's something called writer's block. At a point in a content writer's life or a content creator's life, you may start at a point and there is no inspiration, there's nothing that you're not just inspired to write about a particular topic. Like there's nothing that is flowing in your head at the moment. So at this point now, or maybe you want to sell a particular product, because there are times that you have abundance of ideas, abundance of information at your disposal if you want to create a content. But a situation where you don't have that, or maybe you are not in the mood to even create a content, there's nothing that is popping in your head to write about, then you need to generate content ideas using the strategies I'm going to show us tonight, so that to help you to generate relevant content. The next thing is that it helps you to know what people really want, especially based on what they need answers to. For example, we have Google, we have YouTube, and these are search engines. So people on a daily basis, they go to these platforms, they go to YouTube, they go to Google to find answers to their problem. Just like even before while I was preparing my slides, I visited Google. And when you go there and search, they keep track of all those your searches. So when you now they keep track of all those your searches, and there are materials, articles, blogs, and all of that are kept in place. So when you come to search, when we want to generate a content idea, it's good that you first visit maybe a place like Google, a place like YouTube, so that you know what people really want, maybe what they've been searching for. There are times you want to search, maybe you search for maybe consistency, and along the line you see search results, you see maybe things like what is consistency, what's the benefit of consistency. So these are the things that maybe people have been searching for things that people are requesting answers to. They've been searching for, maybe they have a problem or something like that. So it helps you to know, okay, when you go through those things, you say, okay, that means people have actually searched for this, people have actually searched for this, people have actually searched for this. Then it helps you to write content as regards that area. It helps you to write content as regards that area. Just like when I wanted to start teaching Upwork, although should I say yes, when I wanted to start teaching people how to get jobs in Upwork, as after I finished getting my account approved. So I just did a quick search. I went to Google and searched for Upwork, and I got access to a community. I got access to a community where people were asking tons of questions as regards Upwork. Upwork account approval. I searched for Upwork account approval. So I had a whole lot of results that I saw in the community. People were saying, I've tried getting my account approved for 3 times and it was rejected. I've tried this, I've tried this, I've tried this. So that gave me an insight into, okay, that means people have actually been having issues in this area. So with that problem I had in mind and me having the solution for it, I created a post or a content on a group. And with that, I was able to get massive engagement with a whole lot of persons reaching out for me to help them in the account approval process. So if I did not do that research, I wouldn't have known what people really want and the problem they are facing and what they need answers to. So the next thing is for proper understanding of your market or your target audience, which is similar to what I just said now. You understand your market. Is it saturated? Is it something that people are always requesting answers for? Like Upwork now is something that is really saturated. Like people are always on the lookout, are always looking for how to get solutions to their problems in Upwork. So if you can just do a quick search or a quick content generation process, you just search and you'll be able to know, okay, this is how saturated my audience are and all of that. This is a problem they are facing, and you now know if this is something you have solution to. Another thing is that it helps for valuable and wider insight perspective into what you want to create content on. So you may want to write about consistency. So you may, because there's no need reinventing the wheel, a whole lot of things have been written already. So what you just have to do is to go and read up what people have written already, so they don't end up just duplicating a particular thing. So it will just be a case of you reading up what they've done, then adding your own perspective to that, because that is what will make your content to stand out. That is what will make your content be unique. Because if what you're writing is what is already there, then there's no need. But if you're giving a different perspective, a different way of approach, like making people see this in a different way, then your content is going to stand out. It's going to be rated higher than maybe what others have been, right? So it helps to give you an insight, a wider perspective into what you want to create content on. Then another thing is the research process helps you to come up with attention-grabbing headlines or keywords about your content. So, for example, now, if I search for Upwork account approval on Google, or maybe in the community, a whole lot of questions will pop up. A whole lot of questions will pop up. And with those questions, you know what people are interested in doing. Like, you know the keywords to use. Like when I got started, when I searched, I noticed that people have been getting their accounts rejected. So I now had to, the headline I use, because headlines are very important. It helps, it increases open rates. It grabs people's attention to want to read your content, because if your headline is not attention grabbing, if your opening paragraph is not attention grabbing, it will be difficult for people to even open, because there are lots of content. They're just like on Google, social media, there are lots of content there. So if you don't know how to grab people's attention with your headlines, it becomes difficult for them to open the content and read. And one way to easily grab their attention is to search for keywords or to use headlines that has keywords based on what they're looking for. For example, now I said, I saw questions like, or searches like, my account have been rejected 3 times and all of that. So I now use the headline that says, how to get your Upwork account approved within 20 minutes, even if you've been rejected for 3 times, even if you've rejected twice. So someone that has encountered that problem of account rejection maybe 2 times or 3 times will immediately rush to open that stuff because it has grabbed the person's attention. It's related to the problem he's having, and the person wants to check. And the headline I used is such a one that will immediately want, like, you really, it creates this kind of curiosity in you. It creates this kind of curiosity in you, like, I've been struggling to get my account approved, and someone is telling me, okay, it was rejected 3 times, and someone is telling me I can get it approved within 30 minutes. The person will rush to it, and you now take time and break down the process. If you want to give it out for free, it's a paid stuff, you can hook them and show them, maybe share a story how you were able to do yours, and at the end, you now tell them, okay, if you want me to help you to do it, this is what you have to do, this is the action you have to take. Send me a message, send me a DM. So that was the strategy I used, and I was able to get lots of engagement and people actually reaching out to me to pay. I was doing that from Nigeria, whereas I had foreigners, people that were outside the country, they were reaching out to me because of how I was able to position my content. So that is why it is very important for you to do a brief research, quick research in whatever you want to write about. It helps you to identify keywords so that you know how to place it in your headlines and in your hook, so that it's easier to grab people's attention. So quickly, we'll be looking into where or how to generate content ideas. I want to generate content ideas. I want to write a blog post. I want to I want to write a social media post. I want to do a whole lot of things. How do I generate content? Or even where do I generate this content? Where do I generate this content? So I'll be breaking that down a little. So the first place you can generate content ideas is in forums, under general forums or specific forums. What I mean by forum is like a place like Quora, where people have discussions in a particular topic. Because in Quora, you can optimize your job feed. So you can optimize the views or your dashboard, or can't remember the exact name for it. You can optimize it such that it's only those topics that you want that will appear. So you can go there and find answers. Because in Quora is actually a question and answer platform, such that people come there and ask questions, and content contributors or content writers provide answers to them, maybe experts. So people come and ask questions based on the problem they've been having. Then they get answers to it. So you can, if you want to generate content easily on a place like content ideas on a place like Quora, you can just type maybe Upwork and just put platform Quora. Upwork, maybe Upwork account approval, maybe iPhone, then Quora. It will now bring up questions that have been asked in that area, questions that have been asked in that subject area. So it makes it easy for you to know, okay, this is what people really want to read. And you check based on the number of people that are following that particular question. So if the number of people that are following that particular questions are high, then you know that much people are interested in knowing about that answer. So that was how I was able to scale in Quora. So I provide answers to questions that much people are following, questions that much people are interested in knowing the answer. So I provide that, mainly provide that Quora circulates the answer to everyone that is connected to it. So in that way, if you want to search on any, if you want to get answers to a particular thing, just search, just go there, maybe go to Quora and just search, or even on your Google, just search, and it will bring down questions that are related to that area and the answers. So it helps you to gives you a first, it helps to give you this wider or an insight into whatever you want to write about, and also helps you to know what people really want to read and the kind of headline you are supposed to use to grab people's attention, because it was the headline or the questions that those people asked, the keywords that are there that made people to indicate interest. Okay, this is what I want to read. This is what I have been struggling with. So that is for forums. Then you have communities. These are like a smaller group, maybe in a platform where people sit to discuss about a particular thing of interest, particular topic of interest. Maybe communities like we have copywriting communities, we have Upwork communities. Like in Upwork, there's a community where freelancers ask questions, and maybe they not clients don't answer questions, but then admins of that community will provide answers to those questions. So that was the thing I did when I wanted to generate content about Upwork. I just went there and saw the questions that we were already asking. And in that way, it was easier for me to know what to write about. So communities, you can just search on Google, copywriting communities. It will bring up a list of copywriting communities for you. You can search for content writing communities. It can bring them, either those on social media, those maybe your website or a platform or anything. It will bring down those things for you. Then you go there and see what people are doing there and engage in discussions. You can even ask the questions there and provide, and you can even ask the questions there and answers will be provided. So another thing is Facebook groups. This is another powerful way, like this is another powerful place for you to generate content ideas. So Facebook groups now, you can just, it's very easy. If you're into the niche of copywriting, if you're into the niche of content writing, if you're into the niche of maybe fashion design, you can just search copywriting. And there is the search results. If you go to search this on Facebook now and search copywriting, it will bring up search results. Search results will be grouped either as it will be grouped in the order of posts, people, groups, and all of that. So you now pick groups. It will now highlight all the copywriting groups. It will align all the copywriting groups that are on Facebook. You can now join. It's either they are paid ones or they are not paid ones. So you join them and you go through questions. Maybe in the comment section, when someone makes a post, you go through the comment section, go through the post itself, just a quick rundown, and you're able to note down a whole lot of things that people are having issues with. And one thing that helped me while starting out was I had a Facebook group that I joined as a content writer there. It has massive traffic. So I just went there and asked a question. I wanted to generate content. I want to generate content idea. What do people want to read? What are people having issues with? I just went there and said, okay, I'll be having a Q&A section. Just drop your question in the comment section and I'll be able to attend to it. So just that question I asked, a whole lot of persons were pouring out the issues they're having, the challenges they're having, and all of that. So in that way, I was able to know exactly what people are having issues with. And you can even, either you go through people's content, go through the comment section of what people are asking or what people are responding, or you ask questions. And that question will help to trigger, it helps to trigger content from people, like issues that have problems that have, which makes it easier for you to create content in that area. Because if you create content in areas where people are having issues with, where people are having problems, then it's easier for them to read it. So another place is influencers comment section. Like influencers can be thought leaders, influencers can be experts in your niche. It can be anything, people that has massive traffic and maybe followership and trust. authority in your niche. So their comment section is a place to actually get content ideas from. Maybe he can make a post and you see people asking questions because they believe that as an authority in that niche, he has answers to most of their problems. Or they believe that as he's popular and all of that, they are looking for a way to even reach out to the person. So you can just sit on the comment section of influencers and get content ideas based on the questions that people are asking, based on the challenges they are sharing and all of that. So it's easier for you to generate content that way. Another way is a questionnaire or survey. So I think, okay, but questionnaire and survey like can pass either it's offline or online. Can do a like move street by street. When there was no social media, people were moving house by house, individual by individual, asking questions maybe about a product, about their concerns. Have you used this thing? How was it? And all of that. So they get ideas from people based on either the problem that they're having or maybe the challenges that they're facing or answers to problems or answers to questions. So you can either do that as like offline or online. In online, you can use things like maybe a questionnaire, maybe just your Google form. You just draft questions and provide columns for them to provide answers to. Maybe after a course, you ask them, how was the course? Can you rate this course? Was there an issue you encountered or all of that? Or maybe reviews. Then they're able to pour out their mind and you're able to now pick the ones that are needed, maybe the problems that they had, or maybe the reviews they have. Just from there, you're able to create a content or maybe a survey. Then influencers' content or discussions, what they talk about, the content they create, the contents that they post. You can generate content ideas from there. You can generate content, you can be inspired to create a particular thing. You can be inspired to create a particular content based on, please give me. So the influencers' content or discussions, these are what they are talking about. So you can leverage on that to know what to write about. You can even inspire just by going through the content of an expert in your industry. Maybe going through a content by an influencer, it can inspire something in you. Just like they said, iron sharpeneth iron. He that works with the wise shall be wise. So if you are working with someone, if you are always reading the content, watching the YouTube video of an authority in your niche, it has a way of rubbing off on you and inspiring you to create your own content. It must not be the same content. You must not copy what they're doing. Just model it. Just model whatever they're writing. And one good thing about influencers' content or discussion is that they create content based on feedback most times. Maybe the questions that people are asking them. Maybe you've seen posts like from influencers that a whole lot of persons have been asking me these questions. Okay, I decided to provide answers to it. So it helps you to know what people are actually, because most times there's this traffic, most times gravitate towards that person that is perceived to be an authority in his or her niche. So most times people always like going to the person, asking him questions, expressing the challenge they're having. So when the question keeps coming, they will consider it worthy to write or to create content around that area. So if you can just always be on the lookout for content discussions from influencers, it will be easier for you to grab content ideas. And not that you do this thing, maybe something that you do, you generate all those content and use it the same day. You can just have a journal, maybe a notepad where you note down the content you have to talk about, the content that are relevant in your niche, the content that people are interested in. You just have a place to you note it down. And either you create content in batch or you create it once in a while, maybe daily. And one thing about that I did not talk about in the forum aspect is that, like, when questions are asked, because in Quora, they ask questions, you answer. So question has a way of bringing out answers in you. If someone asks you now, what is your name? You remember, okay, my name is Joseph. What is your skill? What skill do you have? I'm a copywriter. So it has a way of bringing out answers in you. It has a way of bringing out answers in you. So when you go to a place like Quora, just by you seeing the questions, okay, for example, now, what are the benefits of consistency? That question will run through your mind and bring out search results. To bring that, the mind is like a search engine. To run through your mind and bring out search results. Because you remember, okay, it's either you're using either you're talking from a place of experience or you're talking from a place of knowledge based on what you read. You can say, okay, consistency helped me in this following way. I was able to do this, I was able to do this, I was able to achieve this because of consistency. I was able to build my brand because of consistency. I was able to build my audience and generate sales because of consistency. You are speaking from a place of experience, but that content will not have been possible if a question was not asked. So one easy way to easily generate content is to leverage on questions. Check what people are asking. You go there, you see questions, it brings out. That was what really helped me when I was starting out as a content writer. I made it I made it like it was consistent, that like it was compulsory that every day I have to create at least answer one question on Quora, like sometimes two. So seeing those questions, I'll answer them. It has a way of bringing out stuff in you. So when I answer them, I may now turn that answer to a post on Facebook. I may now turn that answer to anything. From talking about that thing, I may now realize several experiences and several things that I may have forgotten. So these things will now give me more ideas of what we want to talk about because of the question. So I think I've brought so much on that. So there are a lot of ways. You can use answerthepublic.com when you search for a keyword, maybe Upwork or maybe copywriting or maybe social media. It will bring out questions that people are asking and to arrange them even graphically, like not graphically, like in an image kind of form. It will present it, shows you, okay, what is Upwork, what is Upwork account approval, why it will arrange all those things that I just go to answerthepublic.com. They can leverage on Google. But there's a resource tool kind of in Google called Google Scholar. So these are for articles. You don't find them on normal searches. You don't find them on normal search. Just go to Google Scholar or scholar.google.com. If you go there, it will bring up these things are articles, PDFs, like proper articles that were written in that area. It will bring up those proper articles for you, and you are able to dissect them and use them. So when I was writing my projects, final year projects in school, I was able to leverage on that. I'll just search for I just go there, like search. If I open Google Scholar, there will be another search field that will now impute the keyword I want to search about, maybe security, challenge. You just bring up that to bring up search results, and it's mostly articles. Then you're able to read them, and you now extract the information you need there. It gives you an insight. Like I said, it gives you an insight into what has been written already. It gives you an insight. It gives you a wider perspective of maybe the research that people have done, the things that people have written in this area. Then you now narrow it and tweak it based on what you want to talk about, or maybe improve on it, or maybe add your own perspective to it. So we have question and FAQs, frequently asked questions, either on websites or anywhere you can, either on websites, maybe on reviews, on sites, frequently asked questions. Like now, for example, as a course creator, now, when I create my Upwork monetization masterclass, UMM. So when I create that course, maybe I start marketing it. You see people that will come and ask you, do I need a system for this? Like, do I need a laptop for this? Can I use my smartphone? Must I have the digital skill to earn in Upwork? What are the skills that are needed? Okay, for example, in that course now, there may be questions that will be like, what if I'm not available during lecture time? How am I going to, can I still participate? So these are questions. It becomes frequently asked questions when it reoccurs. It's always reoccurring. So you note down as a content writer, as a content creator, as a course creator, because course is also an aspect of content where you are educating people, especially for paid purpose. So you note down this question that I'm asking you and now include it. You see people that will add it in their website, you see people that will add it in their blogs, you see people that will add it in their content, like in their marketing message, or maybe in their copy. They'll be like, you may be asking, what if I don't have laptop for this? They will now tell you, okay, without a laptop, you can still join. But maybe for you to now land a job, you need a laptop. But there are little jobs you can do with your smartphone and now generate money for a laptop. So these frequently asked questions, you can even turn these frequently asked questions into a copy, because these are objections that people are having. These are things that would obstruct them and will make them not to take action on whatever you're offering them. So you turn these frequently asked questions into content, you turn them to copies. Just you explain to them, what if I don't have a laptop? You explain, you answer them. Without a laptop, you can still join. Just need a good smartphone that can access, that can join Zoom meetings, that can do this and do this. And from there, the little jobs you are getting, you're able to save up and buy a laptop for bigger gigs. Okay, someone will ask, what if I'm not available during lecture time? Say, okay, the lectures are recorded. So immediately after the lecture, it will be recorded and sent to your emails or sent to the community or to the WhatsApp group or to the Telegram group, so you can access it at your own convenience. Okay, you see, what if I don't have time and this, you can say, okay, it's something that is flexible, it's a job that is flexible, you can tell client time. So all these things are things that, these are objections that people are having. What if I don't get value? It's okay, these are the track record of people that have gotten value before now. If 5 persons use this thing and 4 persons are saying that it's good, it means that it's actually good. So it helps you. Reviews on sites like Amazon, maybe a particular book, you open that particular book, you see reviews. They want to really, really pay attention to their 5-star reviews, their 1-star reviews. So 1-star reviews are mostly people that have bad things to say about the product. Or maybe the 5-star people that are impressed with the product, with the service, with the software and all of that, and with the book. So then the ones from 2-star to 4-star rating are those that they have good things to say about the product and they also have bad things to say about the product. So it's good to center around that area, because the people that are giving a product 1-star most times are people that they are somehow negative kind of persons. No matter what you present to them, they don't see any good thing out of it. But when you leverage on people that has 2-star review to 4-star review, it helps you to say, okay, you see comments like, I love how this place, I love the interface, I love the way I love the interface, but I'm not impressed with this particular feature. I'm not impressed with this particular feature. Okay, the author covered areas concerning this, but he was not able to handle this particular area, which was the main reason why I bought the course. So from that way, you are getting content ideas to help you to now write on that area where the the author, or maybe the course creator, or maybe the software person was not able to factor in. You now write about it. If it reoccurs, if you see a reoccurring question or a reoccurring negative feedback, you know that this is actually what people wanted. Now create content as regards that area. So we have customer service rep and sales rep, people that are interfacing with customers on a daily. When they go out, the feedback they are getting, because these are where they may not call you, but when they see people that they can interface with, like now you can see maybe you can call maybe a company and a customer service rep will now pick. You now pour out your challenge, pour out your frustration on the person. The person is a good company that has customer service or that has customer satisfaction as its priority. It will note down those negative feedbacks. It will note down those problems that is happening and try to improve on it, improve on it, improve on it. So you can, if you're a business owner, you can leverage on your customer service rep, maybe your sales rep, those that go out to sell, or your affiliates, or anybody that has a one-on-one touch with a customer, because these are the people that will get exact feedback from them. So you're able to use that to now write based on the challenge they're facing. Then trends, recent happening, maybe like recently when Queen Elizabeth died. If you go to YouTube, you see lots of content in that area. If you go to TikTok, you see lots of content in that areas. There's a popular gospel musician called Miss Chinwo. When she got married, you see a whole lot of content in that area on YouTube, on TikTok, on social media. People were posting their picture, people were posting their videos and all of that. People even create their own content. They'll be saying 5 things to know about this person, 5 things to know about this person. So this is a way to actually drive traffic to yourself, because when people are always searching about a particular thing, it's easier for your content to be read by many, because when they search and your content pops up, they read it. If it's a video, if it's a write-up or anything, it's easier for your content to gain traffic easily when there's a particular trend, a recent happening. Because people are always searching, okay, let me hear what this person is saying, especially if you're an authority in language. Let me hear what this person is saying. Let me hear this person's view about this particular thing. So it increases traffic. It increases traffic. So just like misconception, controversies, like when I got started as a copywriter, I noticed that we having issues between who is a content writer and who is a copywriter. I have people that will come to me and say, please help me write this content, help me to write this article. And I'll tell them, no, this is not my work. This is actually the work of a content writer. So these misconceptions, you now bring them as, okay, these are the difference between a content writer and a copywriter. If there's someone that was having issues in that area, the person would easily want to bring it. Maybe misconceptions, things that are widely misunderstood. Just by you searching, you're able to even get those things. Controversies is a content I wrote on social media, yes, Facebook. But there's this popular saying that says readers are leaders. So I came up with a content. The headline says readers are not leaders. So immediately people saw that thing, it cracked, like people be like, who is this person? What is he trying to say? Just people open the listen and start reading. I now move them from a place of, I now give them reasons why not every readers are leaders, and these are the reasons. That content generated a whole lot of engagement, a whole lot of comments, and all of that. So these are controversies. With the popular sayings, things that people, maybe religious stuff, that is why most times religious posts sometimes gain traction. Maybe things like if a particular, maybe there's a particular thing that people who steer, you can say, okay, they believe that this is true. You can create content around areas that say that 5 reasons why this thing is. 5 reasons why this thing is not good. Say, can't hear me again. Please, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We were losing you for a bit, like you were talking like as if you were going back. So I don't know, you could speak into your mics and be audible so we can hear you very well.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, thank you. So I said misconception and controversies. Misconceptions and controversies. So if there are topics that are raised, dust, that raised issues, you can talk on that area because these are things that people really easily want to read. It creates curiosity and then customer review, feedbacks, people that have used your product, people that have used your product, people that have tested whatever you're selling. They have things to talk about, maybe negative feedbacks. That's why I said you can go to a place like Amazon if you're creating content, or maybe you're told to write a book, because maybe in place like Upwork, you can get contract that will enable you to write an ebook. You're not the main author, but you are acting as the author to write the book. So you can go and search for things that people have already done, maybe on Amazon, and get people's negative feedback so that you know what to add. You know what to research and add in that particular stuff to solve people's problem in that area. So it will really help you. Then social media, that one is a pool of resources, a pool of content where you can go there and settle and get ideas on what to write about. Then conversations, online and offline. The discussions that people are having, maybe online. So as a content writer, as a content creator, you don't turn deaf ear to what people are talking. You can enter maybe a bus, you can enter maybe a train and people are discussing about a particular thing. You can go to maybe a shopping mall, people are talking about a particular thing, or maybe you just hear, like while passing, just hear about a particular thing. You notice if it's something that really got to you, if it's something that piqued your interest, you note it and write about it. So conversations online, conversation offline, you can sit down and take notes of these things and create content diary. Then YouTube, that one is a pool of resources, a pool of content. It's a search engine where most people go to search for. If people need video content or video answers to problems in video format, they go to YouTube. If people need text, they go to Google. It helps them to really get real life answers. You just go to places like YouTube and search for Upwork. It will bring out a whole lot of videos for you that are related to Upwork by people that have created it, which makes it easier for you to now digest them and to now know what is missing, what has not been done, and now create content in that area so that you don't end up repeating or reinventing the wheel, repeating what people have done. Then books, if you are someone that is a reader, it will be easier for you to lead in your industry because books helps to give you a wider horizon on what people have done. Be expert because books say that authors are authorities. So this helps to show you what authorities in your niche has done already, have written about already. It will help you a lot, and it will help you to know what to write about, or it will either help you to know what to create as a content. So that is for generating content ideas, and I believe that was exhaustive. That was so elaborate. So after now, you should not be complaining of not having content ideas. No, you don't know what to write. You are complaining of writer's block. That is not supposed to happen after this live session. So from now, you should be going through any of these. Each of them are powerful. You can start engaging them, going through them, and knowing what to do. So the next thing I think I've talked about is these are general platforms. Forums, Quora, Medium for writers, Lyraland. This is basically for Nigerians, where trending issues are always discussed. Then Reddit. Reddit like, Reddit is also for maybe content writers. Then we have places like Twitter. Twitter is not really a forum. Like it's a social media platform, but it helps to give you access to trends, recent happenings. If you go to just search, you see most searched topics, most searched persons. It will give you, okay, what is really happening? What is this person talking about? So immediately you go there and you pick, like you now gather a few information. You now come and create content on that. If you become that person that has access to recent happenings and trends, it's easier for you to create content that go viral because people, it may even be from your mouth that they'll be hearing it first in a particular platform, maybe on Facebook, or maybe on Instagram. It's trending in Twitter, but it's not trending on other platforms. You go there and be the first person to adopt that and create content there. It helps your content to go viral. It helps your content to easily engaging. People will see you as, well, this person is an authority. Like, how is this person always getting access to information? You see people that are always consistent, are always creating content almost on a daily basis. You'll be wondering, how are they doing it? Is it that they don't get tired? They have access to things, information you don't have access to. Before you even know about this information, you'll be reading it from them. Whereas they are not the source of that. They are people that have already talked about that information, about that particular thing. And you just go there and get it and now write on it, create video about it, and all of that. So that is about listen, communities. We have Facebook groups, we have WhatsApp or Telegram groups, Quora spaces, Quora space like a community where maybe Upwork, you have a community of Upworkers, you have a community of copywriters, you have a community of content writers, you have a community of affiliate marketers. So there are spaces on Quora that are niche specific. So we have niche specific communities like copywriting communities, industry specific or platform communities like Upwork or LinkedIn. All these things have their own communities. So if you are part of the community, either you're going there to ask questions, or either you're going there to get answers to questions that people have already asked, or you're going there to contribute. Maybe someone asked a question, and in the comment section, you're able to engage with the person and provide answers to that person. That person can even turn to your customer in time because you're able to answer his question. He has been on that community for long and nobody has answered his question, and you are the first person to answer his question. That person is most likely to stick to you and to follow you maybe on social media or even to buy a product you're selling. If you're able to give him an elaborate and a comprehensive answer to whatever he's having issues with, he's most likely to stick with you and maybe patronize you whatever you're doing. So I believe that is clear enough. Then the next thing we look into is content types. Content types. I've talked a whole lot about generating content. So what are the content types? What kind of content should you create? What kind of content should you create as a content creator, as a content writer? Because as you know, content writing is like a sub niche. Content creation can be in turn, and then content writing is sub. So content ranges from anything you see on social media, YouTube, or anything, videos, audio, podcast, anything you see that either educates, entertain, inspire, do anything. So, but content writing is the written one where you're able to write with text. Okay, when you're able to write with text, so that is content writing. So every content writer is a content creator, but not every content creator is a content writer. So we'll be looking into that, the kind of content that you can create as a content writer or as a content creator. So let me give a brief intro meaning of that. So this has to do with the way content are categorized or grouped. So we'll consider two groupings. One is content by purpose or aim. If you go to Google now to search, you'll be confused. Google will want to tell you that they will confuse content types with content formats. And I came to maybe make you understand that better. so that you don't get confused when you go to Google. So content types, by content types, you mean a way a content is categorized or grouped. As contents are categorized. So it's either content is categorized by purpose or aim. What is the aim of this content? As you're writing, what do I want to achieve with this content? Do I want to educate people about a particular topic? Do I want to inspire people with my story, with my results? Do I want an interactive kind of content where I ask questions and I get people to answer? This would determine the kind of content you have to create. Do I want to engage with people? Do I want to engage with my audience? Maybe I finished writing about a particular thing and I request for their own perspective, or maybe I just want them to engage, ask questions, and all of that. So that is the aim of that content. Then informational content. Informational content can be just where you are passing an information, maybe a fact, maybe a news, or maybe something, a recent happening. Maybe as a company, you're able to pass an information, just like about this class now. You will send a message, maybe either via email, that the class is going to start by 8 p.m. Like it's going to start by 8 Nigerian time. So that is information. That is a content. That is a content. To pass an information or to state a fact. You can have contents like that are inquiry based, where you're able to make inquiry, maybe interviews, maybe survey. You're able to extract information from people. Maybe after creating a content, or maybe after producing a particular product, you now ask them, hope you got value, just like people. Hope you, a whole lot, like you can, yes, hope you got value from this. Hope this course was able to meet your expectation. Hope it helps to gather information, gather feedbacks, either positive or negative. Then with that, you're able to improve what you've been doing. It helps you to re-strategize, to retweak your process. So that is inquiry purpose. Then entertaining content can be to entertain, just like we have comedies, like we have video clips, kids on maybe on YouTube, on TikTok, and all of that, which are serving the purpose of entertaining, making you to laugh, making you to be happy. Just like we have our popular content creator, Sabinus. So he's a content creator. I think he was awarded the best content creator on social media. I think so. He's a content creator. His content is majorly to entertain. They are not real, but with the way he's acting, it makes you to laugh. It makes you to be happy. So that is how you can group that as an entertaining content. It's not okay, and most times he even combines two content types by purpose. By when he is entertaining you, maybe in the process he will now promote a particular product, a particular service. So you can say that he's combining two content types, like he's entertaining you, but in the middle, or maybe if at the end, he will now introduce or promote a particular product or service. So that is there's promotional, there's marketing, where you're able to market a product, make people to be aware of a particular product, the benefits and all of that. So there's content by form or presentation. So that includes text, like chats, social media posts, how to guide, articles. These are text, written content. Then we have audio, like audiobooks. We have a podcast where audio just is mainly by audio. You're not seeing the words, you're not seeing the person talking, you're just hearing sounds, you're just hearing what the person is saying. So another thing is video, like the one we are having now. You're able to see me, you're able to see my screen, and I'm communicating. There are other ways, like webinars. This webinar you're having now is a video content. We have YouTube videos, we have TikToks content. These are video content. Then you have animations like cartoons, and now I think they use computers to kind of manipulate, other create inanimate images, like use them, maybe something like something that is lifeless, or something that they just create. They use the computer, the software to create these things. If you see a teacher, he's not a real human being, but he's able to write on a board. He's able to write on a board. He's able to move towards the side. He's able to move towards the side. So that is an animation. It's not video. You're not seeing a real life person talking to you, but they're using someone to represent a human being, or to represent a particular thing that will talk to you. So that is animation. There's infographics where you use things like bar charts, pie charts, and all of that to represent a particular information or particular stuff to help decision-making process easier. You have like maybe companies, if you're very good in that, you may have companies that want you to represent, maybe they'll give you data, maybe from the research they were able to make, and you are able to represent this data in a graphical format, either pie charts and either bar charts and all of that. So that it's easier for them to make decisions. It's easier for them to make decisions with the things that they're seeing. So that is that's for content by forms or presentation. So blog posts, social media posts are underwritten content. So written content, like they're just a sub, like under the host. So this grouping will really help you so that you go to Google, you don't get confused. It's either by purpose or by form, the way they are represented, the way they are presented. I'm presenting this class now, this content, this is a content I'm actually giving you. I'm presenting it via video format, via a video form. I'm presenting it visually. So I can choose not to do it visually. I can choose to do it in a written format where maybe I go to Facebook, maybe I prepare these things as maybe a slide and share with you. Or maybe I'm able to, it's also presentation as a content type. So I can actually type this thing out maybe in an ebook, in an ebook format and share with you. That is written content. So that is, it helps you to know how to group your contents and to know the end. So these are content types. We have the blog posts. This serves mostly for educating. This content type serves mostly for educating, when you want to educate your audience, or maybe when you want to, not basically for entertaining, but mostly for educating, passing an information, and all of that. Except maybe at the end, you hardly see things like entertainment kind of. It's a bit rare. A blog post serves the purpose of educating, passing information. Maybe you have a blog for scholarships. So it lists all the available scholarships. Maybe give you a link to all of them. And with images and all of that. So these are blog posts. It's majorly serves the purpose of educating an audience, passing information, and maybe making it to take action in a particular. So emails, like email letters, these are written content, most especially, like they are written content mostly, which serves the purpose of educating, entertaining, maybe you're sharing, not really entertaining. Entertaining content works better with video, visual content. So what easily works here, maybe when you want to create awareness for it, when you want to promote a particular product, when you're entertaining people, when you are educating people. So it's easier to use email when you want to sell a particular thing to someone. Emails and then social media contents, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and this is our channel. These are medium or media of communication. So different content types works for different channel. I'm going to show us that they works for different channel. So we have how to guides, maybe how to prepare fried rice, how to prepare this soup, how to do this, how to get your account approved. And one thing to note is that people, when they want answers to something, they easily search with the keyword how to. So if your content, if your headlines, or maybe your intro, opening paragraph, your content can be about how to, it will gain more visibility. It will gain, like it will rank higher in search results, and it's something that is valuable and relevant. So how to, people are always searching how to, if someone wants to cook soup now, maybe some bachelors, they want to cook a particular soup, you can just go in and say how to prepare egusi soup, how to do this, how to do this, how to do this. So it's easier for you to write in that area. These are written content. You can even have video content in that. When you do a particular YouTube video and you're teaching people how to prepare a particular soup, how to fix a particular product, how to do this. So we have ebooks. We have ebooks where you have a long, the kind of written content about a particular topic to explain or to educate people on what particular thing, or even to show them how to get something. Now, I can even write an ebook on how to get your account approved. So that is a written content. Then we have video contents like YouTube videos, TikToks, and all of that. We have webinars like what we're having now. We have podcasts where you are able to, for example, on Spotify, you're able to create content on your own, audio content on your own, or you can invite a guest speaker when you are maybe asking the person a question, maybe inquiry kind of content or interactive kind of content. You ask maybe a thought leader or an authority in a niche. You ask the person, okay, Mr. Man, welcome, sir. You're welcome to this show. Can we know you briefly? The person introduces himself. You now start asking the person question, what is the secret of your success? What is the secret of your things? So you're able to create content in that area. Audiobooks, we have case studies when you want to maybe talk about, you want to properly talk about a particular thing, a case study, maybe, for example, now COVID-19, you want to talk about it. Like, that is it. Or maybe you want to talk about a particular thing using a particular audience as a case study, or maybe using a particular customer as a case study based on what he likes and all of that. So it's easier to do that using case studies. Then you have white papers, mostly for lead generation, where maybe a product you write about, when you create a product, a software, you can write a white paper on it that gives a brief kind of description about what that product is about, the benefits, and how it can help a particular audience. So this thing you can even send these white papers to maybe people that you want, investors. You can send it to them, just a brief. They just go through it and see the potential of this particular product, this particular service, and all of that, and they're able to take required action. Then we have press release. Maybe the government can choose to release do a press release in written formats. Like most times you notice that when most politicians want to resign or maybe change party, they do that, and it's released as a document, as an official document where people are informed about a particular person, or informed about a particular standing of the thing. Maybe, for example, now in Nigeria, where ASU are currently on strike, by the Association of States Staff Union, ASU, like Association of Nigerian Universities, universities in Nigeria. So the staff, so that's they can release a particular press, like they can do a press release. If they want to extend the strike, they do a press release. Like they release a particular written document or written content explaining why this is so, why this is so. So it's mostly done by organizations, done by political parties, done by government and all of that. So if you are good in that, you can help to write such content. Then infographics, like I've said, using graphical means to represent data, present information in a way that it will be easier for someone to take action on it or to make decision. So we have website content where visitors land on your website and you are able to give them a breakdown of what your product is about, what your company is about, reason why they should do business with you. So all these things are content types. So this article is presentations like the slides I'm using now. These are content types. And they have its formats, different formats for it. So these are 3 things to consider before choosing a content type. Either content by purpose, or by form. So these are the 3 things to consider. One is your audience. If you're creating content for teenagers, or maybe for teenagers, you're most likely to use video content because they recall more, or normally human beings recall more what they see, what you show them. They recall it easily than written content. So if you want to create content about people that their retentive memory is not very strong, you use video. You use visual content such that they can easily see it. So what they see, they find it hard to forget. Maybe using pictures, they find it hard to forget. So the audience you have, maybe the interest or maybe the income level. If you're creating video content, you should not target people that, for example, in a place like Nigeria now, you notice that people, data is not always available the way it should. Like, it's not something that everybody have equal access here. It's not something like that. You want to host a class for students, or you want to create a course for students, you should consider the kind of audience you have so that you know how to create content that they can easily have access to. You don't go and create maybe contents that will require them to burn much of their data. Yeah, you can have a WhatsApp version. You can have a text version of that course and also a video version of that course, such that people that can access this, people that can access the video one can access that, people that cannot access that can also go to the written one. So it helps you to, like, the audience, the people you are speaking to, the interest, what they're interested in. It helps you to know, is it entertaining? Are they after entertaining? Are they after pictures? Are they after visual stuff? Are they after educative stuff? For people like, for educative, for audience that likes to be educated, we can leverage on contents like maybe contents in place like Quora, LinkedIn, and all that, because these are where you go for education, like if you want to educate an audience. I noticed that when I was creating content, one of my contents on Facebook, I think it did not do much. The engagement was not very much, like it was not massive. But when I took that same content to Quora, it generated massive results. So I came to understand that maybe the people that I'm supposed to address, that majority of them are on Quora. That's why it's easier for them to engage with the value I'm sharing. So you come to a place like Facebook where you have scattered kind of audience. People are mostly there for entertainment. People are mostly there for anything like education and all that. So it's difficult to get that. So, but if you're able to do a kind of research, you know their age, their interest, their income level. It helps you to know the kind of content to create so that they will have access to it. Because if you create content and people don't have access to it, then you may not have much results, you may not have much engagement, you may not have much feedback. Like if it's something that requires them to implement as fast as possible, you will not generate reviews, you will not get feedbacks. So you should know the kind of content to create based on that. Then the purpose. Is the purpose to educate that audience? Is the purpose to entertain or to describe? So if you're educating an audience, depending on the audience you're also educating, you can use written content to educate. But if you're entertaining, most times you use visual or video content, because if it's easier for you to laugh. If I'm ranking a joke now, it's easier for you to laugh if you are seeing me, seeing the expression, the body language, and all of that. It's easier for you to laugh. That kind of. That is why someone like Sabinos and all of such content creators are really doing well, because they are entertaining you and you are seeing them. You are seeing the body language. You are seeing where he's like when he's demonstrating whatever he's demonstrating. So if for entertainment purposes, use more of visual video content. If you want to describe a particular thing, use more of visual, because maybe you want to describe how something looks, how a particular product looks, you use visual content. So another thing is the channel. The channel, how do you want to pass this message? Which social media platform do you want to use? Is it if it's Instagram, if your audience are domiciled, if they are resident in place like Instagram, you should know that graphic, like images, are what works best, and maybe images are the things that work best for them. If it's for a place like Facebook, content, written content, images, and all of that can work. If it's a place like YouTube, you should know it's video. If it's a place like TikTok, you should know that it's video. So when you know who your audience is, and you have a purpose or an aim, what you want to achieve with that, is it to entertain or to educate? It will help you to know the kind of channel to use to pass your message so that it will be delivered effectively. The purpose for which you created that content to be achieved. You don't want to entertain an audience and you're using written content. That purpose for which you created that thing was to entertain, and you're using a wrong channel. You will not get maximum results for that. So these are the three things to consider. You can't find this elsewhere easily. So content formats, this refers to how your content should be arranged, or its flow, how the flow of a content based on the type. It is a educational content, the flow. If it's a promotional or a marketing content, the flow. If it's a YouTube content, the flow and all of that. So it shows you how your content should be arranged, how maybe for heading that shows you how it should be arranged. If you're writing a press release, you don't use the formats you're using for writing a press release to write a blog post. You don't use formats for writing a blog post to write an article. You don't use formats for writing an article to write a press release. You don't use that for writing to write an infographics. You don't use that. So there are several formats. And I'm not going to list all of them here because the list is so extensive. So I'll just give you a rundown of just very few of them. So there are different types, different content types has its unique formats. Like listed blogs, webinars, and all of that has its own content format. The way is just like you have presentations like these slides I'm sharing now. There is a particular format for it. If you want to create a particular site, they will show you different formats that are available. There's a format for headings first, then content, or headings first, then the content are divided into two. There's a place for just headings only. Just like if you run through my listing now, you see different listing that I used. You see this one that I use is different from this one. You see this one. You see this one that I used. So there are different formats, the way it should be arranged, such that when someone see it immediately, you know that yes, this is a presentation. You will see maybe a flyer. Maybe you see a flyer, you know that yes, this is a flyer. Maybe you see a video, this, you know, yes, this is a video. Maybe you see a blog post, you know that yes, this is a blog post. So it's for easy identification. You have to know the kind of format you use. So for example, now educational content has maybe social media content, begins with an heading, then a subheading that helps to, like a subheading or an opening paragraph that helps to describe, not describe, like the heading comes first, then the subheading that maybe gives you a summary kind of, or what to expect in this content, or something that's a benefit that is tied to that content that will help you to read, that would motivate you to actually read that content, because the heading grabs your attention. The subheading kind of triggers interest in you to read. Okay, you brought me in. Okay, what should I like? Why should I read this? Why should I read this? You can say, okay, how to create YouTube contents that go viral can be a heading. Then a subheading can be the strategy I'm about to share with you now. Help me to generate over 100,000 views on my first YouTube content, or it helped me to get over 1,000 subscribers for my business. So people will be like, yes, I think I want to read this. Then you now start giving them a breakdown of what you want, or maybe how to create tweets, or how to write tweets that go viral. You say, okay, the strategy I'm about to share with you now in this post helped me to generate over 500,000 followers, helped me to get over 10,000 likes on my business. So it's most times benefit driven, and it helps you to, after grabbing people's attention, you give them a reason to stay. Because if you don't give them a reason to stay, they are off, because the attention span is just so small. Grab people's attention before you know they've seen something else. But if you're able to give them a reason to stay, they calm down, maybe their bottle of water, they're able to sit down and digest whatever you're doing. Then the body, where you now do the proper educating of the audience. Then the conclusion, then a call to action. CTA is a call to action where you're able to tell them, okay, I prepared a free ebook that will give you a step-by-step way on creating tweets that go viral. To get access to that, comment interested. To get access to that, hit this link below and get access to that. Maybe the person now have access to your WhatsApp number, or maybe your WhatsApp link. Maybe if you want to generate content, that is another way. If the purpose for you to create that content is to generate leads, to generate subscribers and all of that, it will show on the call to action that you use. So purpose most times happens in the call to action area. So the purpose, is it to generate leads? Is it for someone to buy this? All of that. So you know how to structure that. So these are the few content formats I'm going to look into. One is social media content. That one, there's no iron, there's no meter rule, or there's no specific, or there's a keyword I'm looking for. There's no specific format for social media content. I'll just give us a little intro. For now, for example, now for Facebook, now we want to create content that go viral, that gets massive engagement. So whether it's Facebook, whether it is WhatsApp, whether it is Instagram, whether it's Twitter, the rule of thumb is that you begin with a heading or an opening paragraph, then the body and a call to action. Majorly a heading and a body, the body can be one paragraph, it can be 2 paragraphs. So for a social media content, you can begin with something like I said, how to create 5 tweets that go viral, or how I generated over 500,000 followers from my YouTube channel, or 500 subscribers. Or for example, I made that tried Quora. I can say how one of my posts generated over 229,000 views, or how my post generated over 229K views on Quora. That is a heading. It's graphical in. You now tell them, this thing I'm about to share with you was help me to generate this. It helped me to actualize this. You now give them a breakdown or a rundown of what, or to educate them. It's either you're giving it out for free, or you are kind of taking them through a process. They call it this steep sliding method. That is, the steep sliding method, where you're able to, just like someone in a mountain, you want to bring someone to down to a mountain, like down to a ground, or maybe to a valley. You have something you're using to draw the person gradually, using something to drag the person gradually, till the person comes down and now have access to the main thing. Or maybe you want to bring someone up. You're using something, maybe a hook. You are bringing the person up, bringing the person up, bringing the person up, bringing the person up, bringing the thing up, till like the real substance. There's a secret to creating. If you want to make people to take action on what you're doing, you keep, like, for example, now, if I want to give a child now a fish, if I want to bring a child into a house now, I want to bring a child into a house. He's outside, he's playing ball, and I want something that will bring him inside. I'll present the fish to him. Boy, come and take fish, or come and take ice cream. You use that thing that you think you know that he wants very well. This also narrows down to research. You use that thing that he wants very well, or that he's very much interested in. Use it and present to him, just like pets are used for fishes. Present that to him. Then you tell him, okay, if you reach here, I'm going to give it to you. The person now reach there. If you reach here, I'm going to give it to you. See, it's okay, come inside and get it. When the person now comes inside, give the thing to the person and shut the door. Being able to achieve that purpose, or bringing him into your net, or bringing him into, maybe you want to generate leads. So you have an ebook to share. You have an ebook to share that contains particular secrets. You keep bringing them, and at the end, you now say, to have access to this, click the link below. But if you're unable to do well in your body aspect, they will not have reasons to now take action. They will not have reasons to take action on that thing you're offering them. If you are promoting something, if you're just like in some video content where they're promoting a particular product, they'll mention about that product and now give you the things that product can help you achieve, that can help you do. They will now tell you, okay, for you to get this, this is where it's going to, where you're going to get it. Visit their Instagram handle, visit their YouTube channel, go to their websites, and all of that. So you give them a headline in your social media content, give them a catchy, an attention-grabbing heading, or an opening paragraph. It must not be a heading. It can be an opening paragraph. It can be 1 line, it can be 2 lines, it can be 3 lines. It must not be extensive. It must not be a way you write 5 sentences or 10 sentences together, no white space. No, it can just be a 1 paragraph. It can just be a 1 sentence. Where you say, for example, now you can say, how I made over 100,000 in a month. How I generated 500 followers within 24 hours on Facebook. Or you can use maybe something like numbers headlines. You can say 5 ways to do this. It's proven that headlines that have numbers to them generate more like they generate more traffic, more open rates. You can say 5 ways to create contents that go viral within 24 hours, or 5 ways to get your account approved within 24 hours. Anything that has to do with numbering, because people attention span. When someone see 5 steps, person will say, okay, I have 4 steps, I have 5 steps to go. The person, after reading 1, he knows that 4 is many. So, but if you just say ways to, for example, now if you see 2 headlines that has to do with ways to generate, ways to create YouTube videos that go viral, and 5 ways to generate or to create YouTube content that go viral, you're most likely to go for the ones that is number, because you know that this person is specific, is clear about what he wants to tell you about. After number 1, you're looking for 2. After 2, you're looking for 3. So the heading, I know I've talked extensively on that, the heading or opening paragraph, because this is what will determine if someone is going to open your content. This is what will determine if someone is going to stop, because the headline is meant to make someone to stop and read. If your headline is not able to achieve that, then your content will be trashed. It's either you're starting with a heading or an opening paragraph that is catchy. It can be a story, just like in the olden days. Okay, let me not say in the olden days. Before now, okay, if you want to tell a story, like once upon a time or last week Friday, while I was on my way to the market, you've grabbed people's attention immediately. They want to see, because people are always curious. This human being, they're always curious. They always want to know what's happening or what happened, what is about to happen. So an opening paragraph that's catchy or a headline, then the body that explains what you're talking about, or maybe a story or inspirational or educative, then a call to action. If you got value from this webinar, subscribe to this. If you got value from this post, please share it to at least 5 persons. These are call to action. If you got value from this content, please tag 5 persons that you think needs to be this content. These are call to actions. These are call to actions. These are call to actions. So there's no specific laid down rule for writing social media content. But if you're writing for something like Instagram, you can, there's something they call where you're able to, what's in the name for that? Where you're able to write, where you're able to create kind of graphical or image, maybe a particular post you wrote on Facebook, you can just present it in that format, like just the one presenting, maybe a slide kind of way. I forgot, I think it's carousel. I think it's other carousel. Can't remember exactly now, but where you're able to present in that format. So if it's Twitter, you know it's tweets. You know it doesn't contain more than this number of words. So you know how to present it, maybe heading, a catchy heading, then a reason for them to read, then a call to action. If you can just say, for example, now, how I generated over 5,000 followers on Twitter within 24 hours. Then I now say, the strategy I'm about to share with you now, or these 5 things, or 5 things I did to generate 500 followers within 24 hours on Twitter. Say the strategy I'm about to share with you now helped me to generate this within this number of hours. Then you now give them a call to action. It's either you're telling that this is a thread, or you just spin it out, or maybe a link to somewhere or anything. So emails, for example, now emails, the format for writing an email is that you begin with the subject line. Begin with the subject line or opening line, then greetings, maybe dear Joseph, like you see in most emails, where they capture your details, maybe via an email service provider. Greetings, it's your name, then opening paragraph, then a body, and a conclusion, and a call to action, depending on the purpose for writing that particular email to you. So it's either starting as a subject line, then a greetings, opening paragraph, body, conclusion, and CTA, a call to action. So that is where emails are written, and your subject line is like your heading. So it must be written in such a way that it immediately grabs someone's attention to now open, because there are lots of email we receive on a daily basis. So if it is not something that your subject line or your heading is the subject line, yes, of that email is able to grab the person's attention, maybe say how I made over 500K in 4 hours, the person want to open it, or how I got rid of stage fright, or how I was able to overcome procrastination, or how I tripled my sales, my profits within 24 hours. So these are subject lines. It's either you're using subject lines that is something entertaining or something that it looks educative, or maybe 5 ways to do this. So use subject lines that grasp people's attention. You greet them, and now the opening paragraph should be something that will make them want to stay. Maybe they open, the first thing they see is your greeting and opening paragraph. So something that should make them to stay, maybe benefits kind of stuff. Then the body, the conclusion, and the CTA. Then for content marketing, this is when you want to promote a product. This is when you want to promote a product. I didn't say sell. You're not selling a product. You are promoting a product. You are marketing a product. So these are the formats you should use. So these are content marketing formats or framework you should work with. I will not go into details because of the purpose of this program. The time frame will not allow me to go into details. So there are 4 that I've listed here. These are the heading, hook, content, and CTA. So these are the things that helps you to easily create content. You know, okay, what is the heading? What is the heading I want? What is the hook? What is the content? What is the call to action I want? 2H, 2C is the first format or the framework. So you start with your heading, then have a hook, something that will keep them to stay. Like I've seen hooks that are like 5 ways to overcome procrastination. That's a heading. Then your hook can be the 5th point, or the 5th one would make you go crazy. On the 5th one, you'll be shocked at the 5th point. Or the 5th point will make you scream. Like these are hooks. These are something that keeps you, like the aim is to keep you on the content. To keep you on the content. To keep reading or to keep watching till the end. You can see, okay, at the end of this YouTube video, I'm going to give you access to my base. I'm going to give you access to my free mentorship. I'm going to give you access to my free ebook on this, or at the end of this, I'm going to give you this. Or either it's benefit driven, or maybe it's something that triggers curiosity. Either you're using this steep, sloping kind of movement where it triggers curiosity for the person to read the next. From there, the person wants to read the next. So you should not spill out everything, because if you spill out everything, and the person may lose interest or not want to read again, because anytime you are not curious about a thing, anytime there's no suspense in the thing, you're likely to lose interest immediately. So there's another one called, you start by heading, hook, content, and a call to action. Then you start, the next format is attention, interest, desire, and action. So you create attention, or you grab attention with your headline. you make them interested in what you want to talk about with your hook or your opening paragraph. Then you create a desire in them to take action. Or is that desire you create based on maybe the benefits of that product, the benefits of what you're talking about, the benefits of this resource, and all of that. You create a desire in them to want that product. Then you give them a call to action. You start with a headline that grabs their attention. Then use a hook or an opening paragraph that sustains that attention you've been able to grab, that interest. It makes them interested in reading what you have. Then when you'll be able to sustain that interest, when you're able to trigger that interest in them to settle and read, to watch, you now create a desire in them for the product. So it's like a transition. I grab your attention. I called you to my house. I did something that maybe a signboard that brought you to my house. Then maybe the look of the house is like an interest. It makes you want to come, makes you want to stay. Then inside the house, I show you things, I give you things that make you want to stay more in my house. Till maybe evening when there is a party or maybe when there is a birthday stuff. Then at the end, I'll tell you, take action on this, do this, do this. So that is another framework. The another framework is problem, agitate, and solve. PAS, PAS. This is a content marketing format. When you want to, the aim of your content is to market something or maybe to promote a particular thing. You can start with a problem. I've been having issues getting, like, for example, let me use the Upwork. I've been having issues getting my Upwork account approved. I tried several means, it did not work. The last one I tried, Upwork said that they're going to get back to me when I submitted the form, and within 30 minutes, I received an email from them telling me that my account was rejected, or my application was not successful. I should try again. That's a problem. And many people are having that's a problem. So that is the problem. Then agitate. You now worsen the matter. Add salt to the injury. Worsen it. Make them see why that is a grave problem, a grievous problem, a very big problem. Show them why it is a big problem. You let them know that without this, without getting your account approved, you cannot land jobs in Upwork. And without landing jobs in Upwork, you go broke. And if you go broke, you would be frustrated of life, because poverty has a way of making you depressed and frustrated. Before that, you can even commit suicide. So you see that it has worsened that particular problem. It has worsened that particular problem. So because of this, I am not even able to get access to jobs. I can't even submit proposals. And if I don't submit proposals, I cannot even land jobs. If I don't land jobs, I cannot even get money to settle this. I cannot get money to do this. And if I don't settle this, I'll be thrown out of the house. So because of this, I was so desperate, and I was so committed to finding solution to this problem. Then you now introduce the products that help you to solve that problem. So then while on Facebook one day, I saw a content that talked about getting your account approved within 20 minutes. I was like, wow, is it impossible? So when I now went to that content, I had access to it. And before you know it, I was redirected to a class. And there, when I was given the manual, I tried with the manual, and immediately within 5 seconds of submitting, I got my account approved. So you've been able to bring the approach of problem, you've agitated, you've worsened the problem, you've given them a solution. The next thing is now for them to rush and tell you, I need that solution, if it's something that they have issues with. The other framework you can use is before, after, and in breach. You tell them the before, that is the present, where you are currently now, or where they are currently now in their life. That's if you've done your research well. They're going in a place where they've not gotten their accounts approved. They have low engagement on their content. their offers are not converting and all of that, then take them to the future. Take them on a journey to the future. What if I show you this thing that would help you to do this? Or what if, or imagine a scenario where you make a tweet now, or you make a post on Facebook, and within an hour, it has generated over 1,000 likes and comments. What if I give you tell them to imagine that. And when they are done imagining that, now bring them to reality. Like, this thing that I'm imagining now is your present reality. You're able to do that. That is your present reality. Maybe with proofs, with credibility, and with proofs, with testimonial, or maybe with anything you can use to support that claim that, yes, this is your present reality. This dream that I'm having now is your present reality. And this is what helped to make that dream possible, which is a bridge. It's a product, it is your course, or anything, you do that. So the last thing we'll look into tonight before we round up is content repurposing. Content repurposing. And it's otherwise known as content recycling. Just like I don't know if that is done over in most parts of the country, where you have maybe a tin of milk after it's being used, people go about, they'll pick those condemned or used tin of milk, tin of Milo, and all of that. They recycle it, they reuse it for another production process. That's called recycling. It's not totally wasted. Maybe they pick anything in its used form and now recycle it. They use it as a raw material, or maybe just a little tweaking, and they are not able to use it for a new product. So that is called content repurposing. So it involves reusing parts or all the elements of an already existing content to create a new one for either a wider reach or for a new reach or a new audience, a new channel. So you're transforming an already existing content into a new format, a new content format, or a new content type. For example, now, if you have a blog that went viral, you can turn that to a video, YouTube video. If it went viral on as a blog, there's every possibility that it's going to go viral on YouTube if it's an evergreen content. Maybe you can turn a blog post to a podcast. You can turn, I've been able to, there was a time I had a social media content. Based on how engaging that content was, based on how engaging people be actually engaging with that content, and now turned into an ebook, and used it to generate leads from my WhatsApp, and also sold some. So that content, the book I wrote, Content Creation on Social Media Made Easy, was actually a social media post. I was just inspired. I was like, the title of that content was like, content creation or content writing no hard. Now you want to impress people with big grammar. Like, content creation is not hard. It's you that want to impress people with big grammar, with grammar and all of that. So people were reacting. So, and now, then another inspiration came on how to educate people on how to create better content on social media, like making it easier for them to create. I used to, you can share your story, you can share your experience, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. It was like a thread on Facebook, and the engagement was massive. People were like, thank you for this. This thing was actually the thing I needed. With this now, I don't have issues. I will not have issues creating my content. So that's revealed. It was another way of generating content like this. It revealed that, wow, people are really having issues in this zone. So I need to scale this. Take it to other platforms. Maybe Repurposing, I can use that for tweet. I can use that for an ebook. I can even do a video on that, showing people how to create content and even sell it or maybe for free. So you're recycling a content. So a content that is valuable, content that is still useful. You really recycle something that has recycling worth. Like it still has value. It still has value. So you recycle that. So why should you repurpose? One is that for wider reach. For example, now that Facebook now, except I go to Instagram and direct them to the post I made on Facebook, or I go to WhatsApp and direct them to a post I made on Facebook. But a way to actually easily do that is maybe if you have more followers on a place like Instagram, you can turn that into maybe carousels. I think that's, yeah, carousels. Then you now share those tips, share those things. And maybe at the end you tell them, I have an ebook where I wrote these things extensively. This is the ebook. It's either it's free or it's paid. Or that is for wider reach. Or maybe you can even run ads on that. You can run ads to that particular content. You can run ads to that particular content for wider reach. Or you can turn it to a blog post, you can turn it to anything you want to turn it to. Then new audience, maybe you did it as a text and you want your visual, people that wants visual content to have access to it. You now go there and you're able to turn that into a video, a YouTube, this a TikTok, and you're able to talk about that. Or you want to bring it from video where people don't really have access to data to consume it, to text where anybody can have access to it and to that. Then maybe new channel, you want to take it to a different platform and all of that. So that's why you should propose. Then content that can be repurposed, not every content that you can repurpose, that you can recycle. It's not all every content that you can recycle. Content that you can recycle are evergreen content. That is content that are not time-based. It is not an announcement like something that is relevant with time. Something that is relevant with time. Contents about to go. Contents about like to go. It's like it was a messaging platform then. Content about that and probably are no more relevant now. Content about post office and all of that are not really in vogue now. So you should only repurpose content that are relevant now. They are not time-based. It was not an announcement. It was not a press release. It's not a press release. It's not an information kind of content that has to tell people this is time to do this and all of that. So these are content that you can repurpose. They are not time-based. And that content that can be repurposed also are content that are relevant and problem solving. There's a problem now. People are still having issues with this problem. You can repurpose that content for wider reach or for a new audience or retweak it. So it's either you're using parts of the already existing content or you're using the entire, just maybe change. If what you used before was 5 ways to grow your followers on Twitter in 2022, or 4 ways to do this in 2022. If it's necessary, you can now change it to 5 ways to do this in 2023. So you've repurposed that content, you've removed the headline, you've changed it. Or you can actually, it's a content that is very, very relevant, solving a problem, and it's not getting the kind of engagement you want. You can just change the heading. Change the heading. I heard of a book that is titled Astronomical Love, kind of. It was not being sold. People were not really buying it. So the author, either another person bought the book or bought the idea and changed the heading, changed the caption, the book title of that book to ways to keep a man and make him beg for sex. Like ways to keep a man and make him beg for sex. So that heading itself, that was the only thing that was changed in that book. because that was what the book was aimed at achieving. But the heading, the title was very poor. So that book title really grab people's attention to open the book, to buy the book, to engage. So that is the kind of content you can repurpose. Then viral or engaging content. If you have a content that went viral on Facebook, you can repurpose it, turn it to thread, turn it to tweets, can turn it to carousels, can turn it to a YouTube content, can turn it to a podcast, you can turn it to a blog post, you can turn it to a slide, ebook, and do that. If it's viral here, there's every likelihood that it's going to be viral in the other platform. So the last is content repurposing analysis checks. So there are a few things you can use to check if a content is good to be repurposed. Whether you're using Google Analytics is a tool, or you're using YouTube Analytics, maybe your content, it shows the one that is highly engaging, it shows the one that people really engaged on. It's just like a tool that shows a feedback, a background, sorry, not a background, that shows you the back end, or maybe, the back end of your content, or what the performance of your content. It shows you if it was highly engaging, if it was like, it gives you a rundown. It gives you a rundown of how your content did. So you're able to pick the one that went viral. You're able to pick the one that was highly engaging. You're able to pick the one that has massive views. You now repurpose it. It works same for YouTube. It works same for Facebook page. Maybe you have a Facebook page. That is, Facebook page is the one that does that. Facebook profile, your normal profile, doesn't really do that check for you. But if you have a Facebook page, it does that check for you. It shows you how many persons clicked on your post. It shows you how many persons viewed it. It shows you the engagement. It shows you if they were able to click a link that you shared. And it shows you people that commented. So it gives you that check. So you're able to pick the one that went viral. You're able to pick the one that had massive engagement, that had massive views. And you are able to repurpose that content for a wider reach or a new set of audience. Then post by post manual check, maybe on Facebook, just do a rundown of your post. The ones that got massive views, maybe on YouTube, just go and see your views, see your rundown and all of that. You see them. You now pick the ones that are still relevant now, the ones that went viral, that are still relevant, that are not time-based, that are still solving a particular problem. You check them, that are still valid. It's not a strategy that has expired. It's not a strategy that is no longer in vogue. You bring that post again, refresh it, like give it more life, maybe add more perspective to it, add more experience to it, add more examples, real life examples to it. Then you are able to now recycle it and send it as a new content. So people may have read it, but the way you recycle it will now bring out another look for it. Maybe there are people that that followed you, recently followed you. Maybe you did that post last year when you had 5,000 followers, and now you are having 10,000 followers, 50,000 followers. You repurpose that content for a wider reach. They're able to see it, because before your old posts can be shown to your new audience, it's either they go there manually to go through, which most times they don't do it, or when someone engages on your old post, then the Facebook algorithm will bring that post higher for them to see. But if that does not happen, then you have to go through them, pick the ones that you think they need to know about. Maybe it's an introduction they need to know about. You go there and pick it and repurpose it and use it for the wider audience or reach. So with that, we've come to the end of this session. And I believe we got massive value from it. I believe it was so exhaustive, it was comprehensive, it was detailed enough. So that is the end of this. If there is any question, I would like to attend to them in the comments section. Thank you all for.
So, Joseph, sorry, like this was really insightful. I can see the comments. A lot of people are really like they are really happy about it. So the way you're breaking it down was everything for them. So I myself, I was even learning. No worry, I'll very soon. I think I'll come to this. I'll come to this track. I'll leave project management and I'll come and join you in content. So I don't know if anybody has a question. They are really everybody's. I don't know much later. You can go and rewatch the video and then look at the comments. On the live video. Yeah. So I'm going to add Joseph to the group. I'll when I add him, I'll tag him so you guys will know that he's the one. You can ask your questions, but if you have any question now, let me know. Right? If you have any question now, just type it in the chat box. So I'll just read it for him. Let's say if 2 or 3 questions, that's the max we can take. It's already 10 o'clock. Anybody has a question? So yeah, the slide is going to be shared. Please, Joseph, I'll add you to the group. I think I'll add you to the group. I'll take the slide from you, but I think you need to share the slides with them too, right? So that they can be able to look through it, and revise and all that. So I guess I didn't even expect anybody to have questions. Okay, someone asked what are leads? Please help her explain. So I think that's just the only leads. What are leads? So I think that's the only question we're going to take.
Leads are potential customers.
Are what? Sorry.
Potential customers.
Okay. So that has answered the question. Leads are potential customers. So every other question is going to be happening on the group. So guys, if you're on the Telegram channel and you're not on the WhatsApp channel, I don't know why else you're not on the WhatsApp channel. See, it's very easy to communicate via WhatsApp than Telegram. A lot of us are on WhatsApp and not Telegram. I don't know if you understand. So you shouldn't be in one and not be in the other. And 2, if you are not on any of these channels and you are sure you applied for this and you were shortlisted for this and you went through the process and filled all the forms, please go through your email. I think I'll let Joseph go. It has really been an exhausting time. Joseph, thank you very much. Yeah, the rest of what I have to do the announcements. Yeah. Yes, if you want to go, you can go. Thank you very much for this class. So, like I said, guys, so if you're not on if you're not on any of these channels, please make sure you go through your email. I've sent a lot of emails, like email threads. Please go through your email. Make sure you go through them one by one, right? And find the Telegram channel link. I think we reset that of the WhatsApp now. If you're on the Telegram channel, send me a message. I'm the admin there. You will see my number. Send me a message, and then I will add you to the WhatsApp channel. So thank you very much, guys, for being here. We'll meet on Saturday.